up, everybody? This is Kayla with the Life Unlimited Coaching coming at you with a quick little public service announcement, if you will. So I wanted to talk about why you shouldn't be focusing if you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to, create fat loss. The last thing you need to worry about is your workouts. And I wanted to give you 3 things that you should focus on instead if that's your main goal. Okay. I can't tell you how many times someone has come to me and they're exhausted because they have been working out consistently for months, 4 to 6 days a week. They've been going to the gym and they've been doing all these things, and yet they're not seeing the results that they want, right? They lose a few pounds, gain them back, all that stuff, right? And the cool thing, before I go into the 3 things that you should focus on instead of the workouts, the cool thing about people that are in this situation, okay, is, and something that they should celebrate, but they don't because their only outcome they're trying to shoot for is weight loss, right? But something that should be celebrated in this situation is the fact that this person has been able to exercise that consistently for that long without the results that they want, okay? Because ultimately, the outcome that you're really trying to achieve is healthy habits, right? And so the fact that they have established this healthy habit of going to the gym or getting on their treadmill or getting on their bike or going for a walk 4 to 6 times a week, and they haven't seen the results that they want, is kind of irrelevant because the fact that they haven't seen the results that they want is irrelevant because the result that they should be trying to achieve is creating this healthy habit, right? And so as soon as you implement these 3 things that I'm going to talk about, it's like throwing gasoline on the fire. And so as soon as, and they can just keep the habit they've established and everything else gets better, which is super cool, okay? But I'm in a lot of weight loss groups on Facebook. People come to me and ask me, and they're like, Kayla, I'm not seeing the results. What am I supposed to do for my workouts? What am I doing wrong, right? And I always shift the focus away from the fitness, and I talk about these 3 things, okay? So the first thing that you should focus on, aside from the first thing you should focus on if you're not seeing the results is your nutrition, okay? A lot of people will tell me that they've been working out 4 to 6 times a week and they eat pretty healthy. That's what they say. I feel like I eat pretty healthy. And they probably do eat pretty healthy. But that's not, you can't quantify or pretty healthy. What does that even mean, right? I eat pretty clean. What does that mean? And so the first thing that you genuinely need to establish is how many calories am I eating? Because if you're eating 600 more calories than your body needs, and it's chicken, rice, blueberries, spinach, and avocados, even though those things would be considered healthy, it's still 600 calories more than your body needs on a consistent basis, right? And so it's going to store it away. That's what our body does. It's energy systems. And so you need to be aware of how many calories you're putting into your body. So that's number 1, okay? And the best way I have found to figure that out is to get a calorie tracking app, right? And then just for a week, don't try to hit some arbitrary number that the app gives you, because they will give you a calorie goal. Ignore it. Just track your calories for a week and see where you're at. That's all we're trying to do is create awareness, right? And then you can adjust it based off of where it is at, okay? So that's number 1 is genuinely, you just need to know. I know there's a lot of, you just need to know, okay? And then the second thing is you need to increase the amount of protein that you're eating in your diet. So a lot of people, we usually don't eat enough protein across the board. We don't eat enough. And so start to pay attention to that and see if there's any things that you can start adding in on a consistent basis that will automatically increase the amount of protein that you need every day, or that you eat every day. The amount of protein that you need every day depends on a person and kind of what your activity levels look like, what your body weight is, all of that stuff. And so the easiest way to figure it out is if you're and I'll give you kind of a range, right? Most women want a minimum of 85 grams of protein a day. Okay. for men, it's a little higher. I want to say it's 125 grams minimum. It might be more than that. And then it can go all the way up to like 1 gram per pound of body weight. But for women, you don't want to go higher than like 145. Okay. And so, but it's going to take up about 30% of your calorie intake would be ideal. So that would be that's another way you can look at it, is like if you're eating 1,600 calories, you want 30% of those calories to be from protein. Okay. But make sure you're increasing protein. And the simplest way is just to make sure that every time you eat a meal, there's something in it, in the meal that is a protein source. Okay. And when I say a protein source, it means when you look at the label, most of the calories come from protein. Okay. So like peanut butter, people say peanut butter has protein. It has protein in it, but it's mostly fat, right? Or what's another one that people use? Milk. Milk's like, it's a complete food actually. It's got carbs, fats, and protein, but it's not mostly protein, right? So make sure whatever the protein source is that you're going to consume at your meal is mostly protein, like 90%, 80% protein. Okay. And then finally, the third thing and the most important, after you've kind of conquered the other two, is sleep. Okay. And I can't emphasize it enough. And sleep is way more important than most people realize. And so if you're not consistently getting an average of 7 hours of sleep every night for the week, you definitely should try and make it a priority. Okay. And I totally understand that there's going to be phases of your life where this is near impossible. Okay. I have 2 kids. I get it. But a lot of amazing things happen when you genuinely start to put a concentrated effort toward increasing and improving your sleep. Okay. And because sometimes it's not necessarily how many hours you're in bed. Like a lot of people will lay in bed for 8 hours or 9 hours, but they're not actually getting quality sleep because they're watching TV right before they go to bed. They're they're dealing with like anxiety from the day. Like there's a lot of you can sleep a long time and not get any sleep, right? So make sure you're doing all the things that you need to do to improve your sleep and increase your sleep. You can track your sleep, like the Whoop band tracks it, and so you can kind of get an idea of where you're at and what helps and what hurts and stuff like that. But if you can focus on improving your sleep, increasing your protein, and creating awareness around calories, your results will just, especially if you can keep the habit of working out 4 to 6 times a week, 3 to 5 times a week, whatever it is, it'll change everything. And so that's usually when someone comes to me and they tell me that they're not seeing results even though they're working out so often. Those are the 3 things that I always revert back to. And oftentimes, sometimes it's not. Sometimes they know how many calories they're eating. They're just not getting enough protein and they're not sleeping well enough. Usually it's not. They don't have all 3 locked down along with their workouts. They usually just have one or maybe like some consistency with food, but there's usually something missing in those 3 areas. So hopefully that was helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful day.